So here you can see in this image, this is the otosacus and the three semi-peripheral, 1, 2, and this is the third one which is on the other axis. These are the three peripheral semicircular canal at right angle in the three planes of the body. These are planes, जो semi-peripheral semicircular peripheral semicircular canals जो है, they are placed at right angle to each other. Now when we talk about these structures, the otosacus, it is further divided into two parts. The anterior part is called as utriculus and the posterior part is called as seculus. Okay, so here you can see this is the utriculus and this the below region is called as seculus. It is there is an invagination arising from utriculus known as recessus utriculus. It is present beneath the ampullae of the anterior vertical and horizontal semicircular canal. The seculus shows an outgrowth known as legnia on the posterior end. The semicircular canals, as I have told you, they are placed on right angles to each other and oriented according to the three planes of the body. You can imagine the XYZ. So they are placed according to those three axes in the body. Each semicircular canal shows a swelling known as ampullae at the end of the structure. The canal opens into the otosacus by both the ends. The whole internal cavity of the labyrinth is filled up with a fluid known as endolymph. So besides these cavity, it also bears something like a particular structure which is calcareous in nature, that is called as otolith. Now the otolith, the space between the membranous labyrinth and the auditory capsule is filled by another type of fluid which is called as perilymph. The membranous labyrinth is innervated by the auditory nerves. The nerves divides its branches into the anterior part and the posterior part. The anterior part supplies its branches to the resi-utriculus and the ampullae of anterior and the horizontal semicircular canal. The membranous labyrinth perform distinct functions in scolidomy. The utriculus and the semicircular canal are related with balance and static equilibrium of the body during the swimming motion of the animal. They help to maintain the proper orientation of the body with respect to the gravity. They also assist in changing the direction of the animal during the swimming process. The seculus and the legnae is the actual organ of hearing in the animal. The next organ or sense organ we are going to study is the neuromast organ. They are known as rheoreceptors or also called as current receptors. They are made up of two parts or two form of receptors, that is the lateral line receptor on the body of the animal and the pit organs. The lateral line sense organs are present inside the lateral line canal on each side of the trunk. So basically when we are talking about these neuromast cells, if you have ever observed the shark has a line present on its body. Okay, it lies here on the lateral, on both the sides of the body. You can see these lines to be present. These are called as the lateral lines. The lateral lines have these nerves embedded within the dermis of the body, which extends up to the cephalic canal in the head region of the animal. The receptors which are lying on the lateral line are nothing but the epidermal derivatives and thus are called as neuromast. These neuromasts are innervated by few nerves such as the 7th cranial nerve, that is the facial and the lateralis branch, and also the 10th cranial nerve, that is called as the vagus nerve. The lateral line canals open to the surface by minute pores present on the lateral, यानी जो lateral line हमारे उसके body पे है उसमें अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो आपको छोटे छोटे minute pores दिखेंगे, and these pores will be acting as receptor organs to find out the whatever sense that has been the function of these, basically these areas is to understand the vibration that is taking place in the water body, or if there is an animal moving around, what is the temperature, how the wave currents are going. So all these things are being understood by those lateral line sensors which are placed there. Other than the lateral line, the other organ which is present here in as placed as a pit organ The pit organ is an independent receptor present on the dorsal and the lateral surface of the animal. They are composed of ectodermal pits having a large number of receptor cells. Those cells are significantly innervated. The neuromast organs are found to be stimulated even by small, even slow vibration it can understand, which is taking place in the water body. Thus, they help for the orientation of the body with reference to the wave and the current that is coming up in the water body. राइट सो अब बोलते हैं ना, थोड़ा भी अगर पानी में कुछ भी डिस्टर्बेंस होता है, जैसे पता है शार्क को हम बोलते हैं कि वो आ रहा है, हमें समझ नहीं आता है, बट वो ज़रा सा कोई एनिमल या ह्यूमन बीइंग भी अगर वाटर में है, इट कैन गो एंड ईजिली क्विकली कैच इट, बिकॉज वो ज़रा सा मूवमेंट भी जो वाटर में चेंजेस आता है, इट कैन अंडरस्टैंड विथ हेल्प ऑफ दीज पिट ऑर्गन्स एंड न्यूरोमास्ट ऑर्गन्स, एंड इट कैन वर्क अकॉर्डिंगली इन दैट गिवन. इवन इन द डार्केस्ट डीप एरिया ऑफ वाटर कॉलम, it can understand these senses and work accordingly. Talking about the next organ, that is ampullae of Lorentz. They are thermoreceptors in the animal. They lie on the dorsal and the ventral surface of the head in form of numerous pores. Each pore runs into a longitudinal tube under the skin of the animal. That tube further ends into a radial ampullar sac. So if you see the ampullar sac here in the picture given on your screen, it is round in shape, which we call it as radial, and you can see they are divided into different sections. The ampullar sac lies deep under the skin. Each of the sac will be consisting of 8 to 9 radially dilated chambers around a central core part known as the centrum. The ampullae lie in cluster and look like a branch of grape. So here in the screen also you can see on the shark body, on the snot region and on the ventral region, if you see the small pits you see here, these are nothing but these are all the ampullae, the opening of ampullae of Lorentz, which when it जैसे जैसे स्किन, ये जो एक्सटर्नल एपर्चर है ये आपको यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है पिक्चर में, it will follow up by a tubule and will end up into a ampullary sac. This ampullary sac, if you take a transverse section of it, it is going to represent in this form. That is, in between there is a centrum, and around there are the lumini of the radial ampullary sac, which can be seen in this particular picture here. There are two types of cells present in the ampulla. They are the glandular cells and the pyramid cells. Glandular cells are pear-shaped. They secrete a jelly substance that fills up the ampulla tubule. The pyramid cells are the actual sensory receptor cells. The group of ampulla are innervated by the superficial olfactory ophthalmic nerves, the buccal and the hypobranchial nerves of the sixth cranial nerve called as the facial one. The ampulla of Lorentz represents a steady rhythmic activity and keep on sending impulse to the brain about changes in the water temperature. They are also supposed to be the pressure receptors, यानी कि वाटर का जो प्रेशर है वो कॉलम में जैसे वो मूव करता है, it will help it to understand the water pressure and accordingly move in the water body. So that's all for the nervous system in shark. Thank you.